Well, you're talking about pretty much two different teams. You know, obviously what Jameer means to that team from not having him a year ago, Vince Carter, and then us adding KG to the starting lineup in this series also, but bringing in Rashid. So, you know, definitely two different teams for the most part. Just had a couple additions, but a lot of the core guys are still there on both teams. So it should be an interesting matchup.
I remember your last words after Game 7 was, you know, you were going to hold that one in your head, you want to keep that one in your memory bank. So how does it feel to get another shot at him?
I mean, it feels good. You get an opportunity to play against Orlando Magic at their full strength, us at our full strength. So, you know, you got the two best teams in the Eastern Conference full strength going at the season going to the championship. So, you know, I'm confident where we are. You know, they've been playing very well. If not playing the best out of everybody in basketball for the last month. We got our work cut off for us.
How much does that sit with you in the offseason, kind of that series, that loss, that postseason?
When you go into the offseason and you don't win a championship, you use things like that for motivation. You know, whatever your motivation is that you're using off season to get you going, it is what it is. But that was one of my motivations. That's just the way we went out, especially on our home court. Really left a bad taste in my mouth. And so hopefully, if we can get this series win, it can erase some of that.
Paul, how much do you think you have to change gears from Cleveland to Orlando? How much of a different team is the Magic from the Cavaliers?
Well, it's a completely different team, completely different makeup. You talk about a team that's built around the inside presence of Dwight Howard, surrounded by guys who can really shoot the ball and score. So I think they're a little bit more deeper. They definitely got the experience and confidence for going to the championship last year and representing the East. So it's definitely going to be an uphill climb for us, especially with the way they've been playing of late.
How key is Perk in this series, just given the way that he's going up? You guys seem to match up with Dwight one-on-one.
Well, I think Perk is going to be one of the biggest keys in this series because we're going to ask him to do a lot of one-on-one going with Dwight Howard because we can't really come up with the rest of these guys the way they shoot the ball from the perimeter, the way they swing and they drive. So I think in the past Perk has played him pretty well, and we're going to ask him to do that again, especially coming up a tough series where you have to guard Shaquille O'Neal.
What will it be like for you this series? Because you won't have to go up against LeBron. You know, you're trying to guard him, you're trying to score against him. They don't have a LeBron.
Well, they got a combination of guys that can make up for LeBron. You know, they got Pierce playing real well, Vince Carter playing real well, Matt Barnes. So it's definitely not going to be a night off for me just because I'm not guarding LeBron James. These other guys are playing well. They pose their own, the rest of their team, and they're key components to what they try to do out there.
Can you talk about how dangerous their collective shooting makes them? It just seems like they have a ton of them around there. You got to kind of keep an eye on them.
Well, that's the way they're built. You know, they're built around the inside player, Dwight Howard, and they surrounded him by plenty of shooters, so you can't help as much. There's going to be a lot of guys spotted up on the perimeter. It just seems like everybody that comes in the game for them is able to shoot the three-point shot. So, you know, they really have a nice built team, a good inside play with outside perimeter shooting.
Paul, how do you think they're perceiving you? How do you think they're going to try and stop you guys?
Well, they know we like to move the ball, make the extra passes, play through Kevin, speed up the game with Rondo. And so, you know, they're gonna figure out something to try to counter that after watching last series versus Cleveland. So we just got to play to our strengths, which is get out in transition where we think we got an advantage when we get the ball to Rondo, set a lot of picks for him, play through Kevin, see what they're going to do, and go from there. Get Ray open, get me open off screens. Just play our brand of basketball.
You mentioned Perk, Paul, that you know, he'd be a big factor. Also, Rashid has had success in the past against Dwight. How big of a role could Rashid play?
I mean, he's equally as big because you know, you got two guys who are capable of matching up with Howard one-on-one. You know, a lot of times you see teams go down and double them to where it frees up their shooters. I think we got the advantage to the point where we don't have to double with these guys guarding them. So he's going to be key too. And eventually, if Kevin has to guard him, we got another guy that can guard him one-on-one.